what do the Niners have to do to not finish last in the NFC West? I don't know if you've noticed, but the Niners have finished last every year in the NFC West since they got rid of Harbaugh, except for
the year they went to the Super Bowl.
And 2018, the Cardinals were 3-13 while they were 4-12. Every other year they've been last. So
yeah,
how
and they lost.
Yeah,
they lost twice to the Cardinals that year too. So yeah. I think number one is obviously stay healthy. I think that's the biggest thing, right? You got to stay healthy. Like the Niners haven't been able to do that, but it's going to be extra important this year because I think here's the thing. Okay. I think everybody agrees that as long as Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll are there, you can guarantee Seattle to win 9 to 11 games. Okay. Yep. I think most of us agree that the Rams, if the Buccaneers are the ultimate Super Bowl contender to most people at this exact moment in the NFC, the Rams are number 2 or number 3. They're right there. And that's even in spite the fact that they haven't re-signed John Johnson and a couple other
they got to be the favorites
players
in the NFC West
right?
Now, right? Gotta
right. Because they just have 2 of the best players in the entire division and in all of football on defense. They have a much better quarterback. They have an excellent coach, and they have really good weapons for that quarterback. So you can't look at it any other way. So then that brings us to the Niners and the Cardinals. So here's my thing with Arizona. I know a lot of people love to just rip on Cliff Kingsbury, okay? And I understand that. But I think the real problem in Arizona is actually Steve Keim. Steve Keim's a horrible general manager. People don't talk about it enough, because he's had a couple flashy picks like Budda Baker that have hit. And then he's had a couple of signings and trades like the Chandler Jones trade that have kind of been okay. So people say, okay, he's not bad. But I know this is a topic. I don't want to get too much on a tangent, but we've talked about this with Sam Darnold. How has he been put into a situation to succeed? Well, people were asking that question about Josh Rosen, and all the Cardinals did was hire Cliff Kingsbury and draft Kyler Murray, and the entire trajectory of their franchise changed. And if you want to talk from a weapons perspective, who did Kyler Murray have? I know Larry Fitzgerald's a great name, but Larry Fitzgerald hasn't been right. But Christian Kirk, Jamison Crowder. Christian Kirk, Jamison Crowder, kind of the same player, kind of player to me. What are we talking about? Not a great offensive line. I mean, play calling, people hate Adam Gase, but is Cliff some genius play caller according to some? Kyler Murray carries that offense. So I think if they get another weapon to go with the fact that their defense is going to be getting Chandler Jones back, I think they have a big question mark at cornerback with Patrick Peterson walking. I think that's where they should invest their first-round pick. But I think they're going to be quite good. I think that if you remember, actually, we talked about this on the phone on the summer. We never talked about this on air. But I kept telling you I thought Arizona was 1 year away. I didn't think they were going to take off this immediate year. I think this is the year they're going to take off, and I firmly believe that.
When they beat the Niners, they had some momentum early in the season. Kyler Murray was in the MVP conversation, and I was like, man, I think they're going to win the division. You're like, I think they're a year away. Well, they just got J.J. Watt. Kyler Murray's a year better. Cliff Kingsbury has a year more of experience. I don't know if you're aware, but the offense ranked 6th last year, and the defense ranked 13th. So this is pretty good. That went 8-8.
This is a good solid team. And Cliff Kingsbury can't win. Well, they went 8-8. And who is really on their offense? Kenyon Drake, is that your second best weapon on offense? What? So this is going to be a good football team, I think. I don't think people should underestimate them. That's all I'm trying to say.
They're certainly getting better. The Rams are getting better. The Seahawks have been treading water at 10 wins a season for a decade. And where does that leave the Niners? How do they crack through? What do they have to do?
So for me, the 49ers, it's got to start with, they've got to be able to, I think we've hit the quarterback over and over again, right? That's obviously a point of upgrade. But let's talk about the spots away from the quarterback, because there's a lot of spots away from the quarterback that need to get better.
This team is not a quarterback away, man. It's part of it, but it's not all.
In the case that they keep the quarterback, there are spots that need to get better, and it starts with their offense. They got to be able to make decisions on who they need to keep. Is Kyle Juszczyk super important? What are you going to do about the running backs? Yes. Right, I think he is. So what are you going to do about the running backs then? Do you need to bring in a veteran guy that you can be confident can take the load of playing a 16-game season? Because Raheem Mostert has gotten hurt few times already in his NFL career in smaller doses of carries. Jeff Wilson has gotten hurt in his career. So you need somebody at the running back position. Shanahan can make it work with everybody, but you need somebody back there to run the ball. So they need somebody like that. And then get to the defense. I think that there are question marks. Let's say Jaquiski Tartt walks. What are you going to do at safety? I don't think you can start with Tarvarius Moore. How good is D'Amico Ryans? That's a big question mark. Cornerback position. Well, if Jason Verrett's gone, then what are you going to do at cornerback? You can't walk into a season with Emmanuel Mosley and a rookie as your starting corners. So I think there are a lot of giant question marks that this team needs to answer from that standpoint. I think the first thing is they got to stay healthy. That's the most important thing. But to not finish fourth, they got to make a lot of decisions. We've talked about this ad nauseum. There's like 30 decisions Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch need to make that is going to define the rest of their tenure, whether it's a long-term thing at the 49ers or whether it's 2 or 3 more years with the 49ers. And it's all coming in this offseason, and they got to be right on 66% of them. They got to be 20 out of 30. They can't be 15 out of 30 this offseason.
I just don't see how the Niners get significantly better. I mean, Nick Bosa's coming back. That's great. That'll help if he's not on a snap count. Brandon Ayuk could continue to improve. Deebo Samuel could have more. I mean, if they just have like the healthy squad back, that would help. But still, I don't think that's enough. To me, as long as Jimmy Garoppolo's on the roster without a renegotiated deal making what he's making, they're just not going to be able to significantly improve the roster in free agency. So that means they're going to have an amazing draft and hope a lot of rookies become impact players, which generally doesn't happen. Usually maybe you get one rookie who's an impact player.
And you can't – this isn't 2019. People need to get that out of their head. The 49ers, even with everybody coming back and being healthy, are a worse team than they were in 2019. That's just a fact, okay? There's no DeForest Buckner. There's no few other people. There's
no secondary.
Team. Yeah, Richard Sherman isn't what he was in 2019, all of that. Okay, so there's that giant question mark. 2, this division is significantly better than it was in 2019. Seattle has a better defense today than they did in 2019. That's just a fact. And if they bring back KJ Wright, it's still going to be a good defense like it was the second half of this season.
Carlos Dunlap was a big deal for them.
Right. Arizona, I just went on a 2-minute diatribe on how I felt that Arizona's team around Kyler Murray sucked his rookie season. It's not a bad team anymore. It's an okay team around Kyler Murray. So I think they're pretty good. And then the Rams, like 2019 was the season everybody thought it was going to blow up. It was going to go wrong, and they managed to go 9-7. They're definitely a better team with Jalen Ramsey and Matthew Stafford than they were in 2019. So it's going to be really difficult for the 49ers. And it's going to take some sort of either being aggressive or having a lot of conviction in making the correct moves this offseason, because they can't make a mistake. Like, they can't make a mistake betting on a D Ford and D Ford not coming through for them. Right. They can't afford it.
And it's, again, I really feel it's not just having good injury luck. It's that and adding a couple of impact players. And I don't see them adding those impact players in free agency. So this draft has to be phenomenal. And they have to have some like instant contributors. So, hey, good luck. Otherwise, plan for 2022, because you are in a tough division and a tough spot. It's too bad because it seems like a pretty easy schedule, though.
Yeah, and someone just put in the comments that Jalen Ramsey can't tackle a shadow. That's really false. Jalen Ramsey might be the best tackling corner. Jalen Ramsey might be the best tackling corner in the NFL. He's a phenomenal tackler.
All right, so we really don't have any definitive answer of what the Niners can do to get out of the base, but they really got to just make some good moves, I guess.